I didn't like what he said, but I laughed anyway because I was already holding my room key. He slid it across the counter with 2 fingers, smiling like he'd practiced it. Clean shirt, name tag, flipped backwards so I couldn't read it. The lobby smelled like citrus cleaner and something older underneath. 3rd floor, he said. Ice machine works. Usually. Usually? I asked. He shrugged. It depends on who's been using it. I waited for him to clarify that, and he didn't. Late check-in? He asked. Yeah, just passing through. He looked at the clock behind me, and then back at my face like he was lining something up. If you need anything, he said, call the desk. I'm here all night. It should have been normal, but it wasn't. The way he said all night felt like a correction. I took the key. He held onto it for a second too long before letting it go. Room 312, he said. Lock the door properly. I always do, I said. He smiled again. Some people think they do. I walked away. The hallway on 3 was quiet in that padded way hotels have, like sound gets absorbed before it reaches you. My room looked exactly like the pictures. Bed tight, remote, sealed in plastic, a little card on the desk about sanitization. I checked the bathroom, the closet, under the bed. Habit. Nothing. I locked the door, slid the latch, and then tested the handle twice. Everything felt ordinary, which almost made the lobby feel like something I'd imagined. I put my bag down, sat on the edge of the bed, and then realized I'd forgotten water. The vending machine was probably on my floor. I grabbed my key and stepped back out, pulling the door until it clicked. The ice machine was at the end of the hall. It hummed before I even saw it. The vending machine next to it flickered, like it couldn't decide whether to stay on. It filled the bucket halfway in the little bag. The sound of the ice hitting plastic was louder than it should have been. That's when I noticed him. Not at the desk, not where he was supposed to be. He was crouched near the maintenance closet across from the elevator, his back to me. The door was open, just a crack. He had something thin in his hands, like a length of wire or a hanger pulled straight. He didn't seem to be fixing anything. He was threading it under the door of the closet and then pulling it back, then feeding it again, slow and repeating. I stopped pouring ice. He tilted his head, like he'd heard me without turning around. I walked back to my room. I told myself there were a dozen normal explanations. Maintenance, maybe. Late night repairs. He said he was there all night. Small team. Inside, I locked the door again. The latch, the handle check. I sat on the bed with the ice bucket on the nightstand and watched the door like I was waiting for it to do something. Of course, nothing happened. I turned on the TV for noise, left the bathroom light on, checked my phone. No signal in that part of the room unless I stood near the window. At some point, I fell asleep with the TV still on low. The sound that woke me wasn't loud. It was small and precise. A faint, dry scrape. I stayed still. It came again, closer to the floor. Not scratching, but sliding. I looked at the clock. It was 2:14. Another sound, something thin brushing against the bottom of the door. I sat up slowly. The room felt smaller than it had before. Hello? I said, not loud. There was no answer. The scrape came again, then a pause, then a gentle tap against the inside of the door, like someone testing distance. I got off the bed and moved closer, careful not to make the floor creak. At the bottom of the door, something shifted. A line of shadow broke where the hallway light should have been solid. Something was coming under. Not far, just the tip of something. A bent piece of metal, thin. It hooked inward, then pulled back. Hooked again and moved. I felt it before I understood it, the angle, the height, the reach. It wasn't trying to come in. It was trying to catch the handle. Stop, I said, and the metal froze. We stayed like that for a second, that stretched too long. "Who is that?" I said. A voice came through the door, low, almost careful. "You didn't lock it right." It was him. Or it sounded like him, but flatter, like he wasn't smiling now. "It's locked," I said. "I checked." "You checked the part people check," he said. "Not the part that matters." The wire slid again, slower this time. He tapped against the inside of the door, searching. I stepped back, then forward again because I didn't want to lose sight of it. "Why are you doing that?" I asked. A small pause, then, "Because you called." "I didn't call." "You did," he said. "You came down when you looked." "I didn't come down," I said. "I went to the ice machine." "Same thing," he said. The wire hooked again, higher this time. It scraped metal softly and then dropped. "You shouldn't be out there," I said. My voice sounded wrong to me. It was too even. "I'm not out here," he said. I moved to the people. For a second, there was nothing but the warped hallway. Then he stood up into frame like he'd been waiting for me to look. It was him. Bald hair, same shirt, tag still flipped, but his face wasn't arranged the same way. The smile was there, but it didn't fit anything. "You see?" he said through the door. "Now you know it's me." "Go back to the desk," I said. "I am at the desk," he said. "You're at my door," I responded. "I'm where you need me," he said. "That's the job." The wire lifted again. He held it up now, visible through the peephole, a loop at the end of a bent cord. "You didn't latch it all the way," he said. "People think they do." "I did," I said. He leaned closer to the door. I could see one eye distort in the peephole glass. "Open it," he said. "We can check together." "No." A beat. "You're gonna call someone," he said. "Yeah, I am." "They won't find me," he said. Not like a threat, but a statement. "Leave," I said. "You'll think about it," he said. "Tomorrow, whether you latched it right." The wire lowered. He didn't move away immediately. He stayed there, eyes still at the people, like he wanted me to keep looking. Then he stepped back out of the frame. I waited 10 seconds, 20. I called the police. I kept my eye on the door until they arrived. No more sounds, no footsteps in the hall. When officers knocked, I asked them to identify themselves twice before I opened the door. They checked the hallway, the stairs, the maintenance closet, the front desk. No one. No employee matching that description on the overnight roster. No flipped name tag in the drawer. No record of a late night shift change. They pulled camera footage from the lobby, from the one camera there. It showed me checking in. It showed me doing everything I had done. The man was there, but he looked different. On the third floor camera, it showed me at the ice machine. The maintenance closet had been out of range. We couldn't verify a thing. They asked if I was sure if I locked the door, and I told them yes. In the morning, I tested the latch again before I left, and it caught clean. But there was a faint, shallow groove in the paint, just below the handle, like something thin had been dragged there again and again, until it learned the shape.